The following video contains profanity and language that some viewers may find offensive. Viewer discretion is advised.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, Sister Girl on Films. And y'all, I am back with part 2, basically episodes 5 through 8 of the Ultimatum. Y'all didn't tell me to prepare myself for domestic violence, possible twerk reveals, hand jobs, fake pregnancies, meddling mamas. Y'all, it's just too much.
Hey, sister girl on films, you don't want to miss a thing, better stay tuned in. So lay back, get into the vibe, in the mood. Real reviews from a sister's point of view. Trailer reactions, movies and TV. So entertaining and authentic, believe me. So roll that footage, I'm ready to chill. Time to hang out with my sister girl. Hey, sister girl on films. Hey, sister girl on films. Hey.
One person who watched my part 1 review did warn me about this episode with this beautiful message right here. Thank you, sis. Because I did need a drink to watch these damn episodes. So before I get into part 2, episodes 5 through 8, I need to do just a quick rewind because I realized as I was watching these episodes that I forgot to mention these crazy ass parents in part 1. So it's going to be a real quick, damn near ghetto ass recap of the parents meeting the new partners. Because I have to talk about this because it'll be important to this part. So Jake met Rae's dad. Long story short, Rae's dad don't like Zay, approved of Jake. I'm like, you really don't know him, but go off, dad. Then Randall meets Madlyn's friends. I have so many problems with Madlyn's friends, but Madlyn's best friend, Madison, I think that's what her name was, slept with Colby before. And then she hooked her friend up with him. What? And then turned around and said, I think that Randall would be a memorable lover just based on looks. Because he black? Is them the memorable looks? So what about him says he would be a memorable lover? That was some weirdo shit. I'm sorry. And then Zay meets Shanique's family. This is like the second show in a row where we meet an amazing black family. Like, I love Shanique's family. They're Jamaican. I never would have thought that Shanique was from a Jamaican background, but she's very feisty, as we'll see as I go along in this review. But I loved how her family treated Zay. I like how they welcomed him with open arms, which is a stark contrast to what we'll talk about a little bit later. But I loved her family, and I was glad we got to meet her family. And then Rae meets Jake's mom and his friends. And let me say something. April is fucking crazy. And the reason why I'm bringing up April is because Jake's mom basically reveals that April has been talking to her during this whole process. And so the mom already loves April. So Rae ain't got no chance, girl. If Jake, at the end of this, the finale that happens in a couple days, if he chooses you, girl, you gonna have a mother-in-law from hell because she loves April and she don't want to have nothing to do with you. So good luck with that. And that's all I had to say about that. I totally forgot to mention the parents and the family and the friends last time. So I had to get that out the way. Now let's go ahead and get to the insanity. The absolute insanity that was part 2. This is a ghetto ass show. Netflix, y'all showing out, okay? So first I'm going to talk about the couples, the new couples, and then once they go back to their original partners, then we'll talk about them in that way. So based on least to most interesting is how I'm going to do this. So we're going to start with Colby and April. Really wasn't nothing to talk about with them because they are just friends. They didn't have a whole lot of romance happening. They really were just leaning on each other for support. They really didn't have a whole lot going on. You know, their last night together, April came into the bedroom with some lingerie on and some cowboy boots and then stepped her ass up on the bed in them cowboy boots. Girl, who the hell raised you? That happened a lot in this show where they were just laying on these beds with the clothes they had been outside in. April ass on the bed with shoes on. Y'all are disgusting. This is a dirty little cast, honey. But April and Colby played a cute little game and talked about how they learned from each other in 3 weeks and was some 4 things, how they connected. It was a cute little scene, and then it ended with them making out, which was like, why are we doing this? Y'all ain't got no connection, no chemistry, but we're gonna make out all of a sudden? Y'all must be horny. But anyway. And then, so when they go back to the decision to rekindle dinner, April says that Colby really helped her become a woman in this process.
Pushed me to be a stronger and more mature woman.
And you become just that. She grew into a woman during our time together.
Madlyn was like, did she start her period? Like, did she lose her virginity? Like, what part of her becoming a woman did you have something to do with? I said, okay, Madlyn, because that didn't make no damn sense. So I pretty much just came to the conclusion that Colby and April both crazy as hell, and they probably deserve to be together, because the next 3, they all had some shit going on. So we're just going to go with Rae and Jake, okay? So, Jake. So Jake said, and I quote, "I would love for us to run off into the sunset together." So just fuck April, huh? You don't want nothing to do with April. Like, Jake and Rae, their connection, like, just out the gate. I'm sure there was a lot of stuff that we didn't get to see, but they were all about each other. And I almost wish the way this process had went was that instead of it being 3 weeks with the new partner and then 3 weeks back with the old partner, I wish it just been 6 straight weeks with the new person and then let them make a decision after that. Because they already been with their original partner from between 1 to 2 years. So what's 6 weeks? And I feel like if they had done that, it would have been a no-brainer that Jake and Rae would have stayed together. But Jake is all about Rae, is loving on her. They holding hands, walking down the street. Rae did confide, though, that when Shanique talked about Zay getting a boner when they cuddle, that it did make her sad. Girl, you put on the act of a lifetime, honey. You was not that upset about that. I don't know. I feel like Rae was very much aware of how she would come off on the show. And so she made sure that she made it look like she was really trying with Zay. But child, Ray Charles could see you wasn't trying a damn thing. Jake also said, the person I would really want to leave with is you. April. Y'all can't wait for this reunion. I cannot wait for this reunion. Because April, her response, I'm sure when she saw this footage, I know she tore shit up. Rae and Jake were just smitten. I thought maybe at the dinner to go back to their original partners that they were just going to be like, nah, we good. We just going to stay together. But they didn't do that. But there's a lot going on. So that's pretty much it with Rae and Jake. Like, they were just being lovey-dovey, and they were talking about marriage and kids and her being Mrs. Cunningham and all this. Just a lot, honey. After 3 weeks. Now, Madlyn and Randall. Okay, let me say this. This tickled me, honey. So, that same night when everybody went back to their new partners after all the drama at the girls' night and the guys' night out, Randall could not wait to tell Madlyn about the fight between Colby and Zay. And he could not wait to tell Madlyn about the girls that Colby was making out with.
Name in that dirt, because in reality, what happened was Colby was the one that seduced the girl to come kiss him.
I don't know if he's used to gossiping with Shanique or if he was just saying that so that she would see what Colby was up to, so he was kind of like dry snitching. I don't know what his motive was, but he was so geeked to tell her what happened at that dinner, and she was like, I don't fucking care.
I'm just trying to like relay the message.
When I say I don't care, I don't get why you keep talking.
And then she started crying. He was like, why are you crying? Why are there tears? There's no need for tears.
There's no purpose to cry. There's no reason to cry.
Y'all don't know why that scene was so funny to me. He was trying so hard to talk about Colby, and she was just shutting it down. He was like, but you're not hearing what I'm saying. I heard you. I want you to shut the fuck up. I'm sorry. Oh my God. It was so funny to me because he was so eager and she was shutting him down because she was so drunk. All she wanted to do was have some drunk sex. He didn't want to have no sex with that girl. He barely wanted to kiss her on camera. She should have known something then. But y'all, I hollered. He was trying so hard. She didn't give a shit. Whew, that was so funny to me. Y'all might not thought it was that funny, but I was dying, honey. And so I kind of felt like after that whole exchange, I'm like, how is Randall still feeling like, you know, Madlyn was someone he could see himself marrying from day one? How? How do y'all keep saying this? What about her? You just met her. Like, all these people just met. You cannot decipher marriage material after day one. Like, at that point, you just going off of looks. And you going off of their representative. But you just seen this girl drunk as a skunk telling you to shut the fuck up. And she didn't care about your gossiping ass. And you still talking about you don't know what to do. You just don't know what decision to make. And she's just so great. Whatever. And I really feel like drunk Madlyn is the real Madlyn. That's my opinion. To me, her being drunk, she is so reckless at the mouth. She's so rude. She's disrespectful. And I feel like that's who she really is. You know, what they say, a drunk man's tongue tells a sober man's mind. I don't...
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Y'all know what the hell I'm talking about. You know the damn saying. But at the end, Madlyn and Randall, he like tongue kissed her out in public. And she was like, this is what I've been wanting the whole time, for him to open up. And she was talking about how great he was at the dinner back with the couples. And Shanique was like, that's great that you think he's amazing after 3 weeks, but I've been with him for 2 years and there's things that he needs to work on. And Madlyn was like, oh no, for sure. There are definitely things he needs to work on. Like, he needs to work on being open. And Shanique was looking at her like, bitch, how you gonna talk about my man? Shanique cannot stand Madlyn. The way she's just looking at her like, I will jump across this table and backhand you. And then when Colby said, well, you know, Randall, you know, I think it's great you're saying all these great things about her, but she has a very mean streak about her, and I don't really think you can handle it. Shanique was like, well, I think you might want to reword that. I was like, Shanique, what did you want him to say? Did you want him just to come out and call Randall weak? Because that's basically what he was saying, that he wasn't strong enough to handle Madlyn drunk ass. But who is? Who is, okay? So, like, even though the whole Randall Madlyn thing was, like, really intense, I feel like because they didn't actually end up having sex, which I was surprised about, I think that changed how she felt about him. Had she got some of that schlong, I think she really would have been over Colby out the gate. But because Randall did not give her the pumps that she was looking for, I think she was more open to just going back to Colby. I don't know, but their little affair, it lasted, and then I think they both were just kind of over it. I don't know. Child, last but not least, these two wore me the hell out. Zay and Shanique. Let me tell you, I was so looking forward to them maybe getting along, having a great connection, maybe vibing these 3 weeks. They had me emotionally exhausted. So when Zay comes back from the guys' night out and is telling Shanique about what happened and how he was about ready to fight Colby over what happened, and Shanique tries to talk to him, and he blows up on her. It was a mess and damn near embarrassing because I'm like, black couple, why y'all gotta be the ones to take it to this level? Like Shanique, even though Zay was doing the most, I felt like she didn't handle it no better because she like, lower your tone. Don't talk to me like that. I'm like, oh my God, you meeting him where he at, girl? You acting just as immature as he is right now. And so Zay leaves after they cuss each other out. You better be glad I don't call you out your name. He's like, call me out my name then. I said, oh my God, they are toxic. He comes back and apologizes. And she does, it was kind of cute though. She did the little thing and they gave each other a little hug. And I was like, okay, so maybe just the alcohol, it just does not work well in communication. In general, it doesn't. But definitely not for these two, which we'll see a little bit later. But y'all, for me, I just feel like Zay, he'd be skating on the edge of abusive. Definitely verbally abusive. I just feel like the way he spazzes out and he gets so mad, it's just so childish and he's so insecure. And I don't know if it has something to do with his childhood. Child, let me not talk too much about his childhood. You know, that's a trigger for him, honey. But whatever it is, he just really needs some therapy. And I say that respectfully. Zay really needs to go talk to somebody, if he has not already, about his trauma, because it is impacting his interpersonal relationships, and that is going to be something that is going to be detrimental to him later on in life. But my biggest question is, where the hell they find Zay? Netflix, y'all don't be vetting these people. This man has a temper out of this world. Do a better job at vetting these people, because show after show, the people on Netflix be acting a damn fool. Also, Shanique is very irrationally angry. And Shanique showed us how irrationally angry that she can be when she met up with Randall. First of all, y'all weren't even supposed to be talking to y'all exes. But she was so pressed by what Madlyn had to say that she just had to go and talk to him. Didn't have to, but she had to. And then when she went to go talk to him, she really wouldn't even hear him out. She got mad when he talked about how he was actually like in the process and trying to consider Madlyn's feelings, because technically him and Madlyn are together right now and him and Shanique are broken up, and she couldn't handle it. Girl, what did you expect him to say when y'all went and met up? That Madlyn was lying and he was all about you? And then when he said, well, what do you want me to do? You want me just to sit in the corner and just... She was like, yes, I want you to sit in the corner and miss me.
Sit in my corner.
Sit in the fucking corner and miss me.
Shanique, then that's obvious. I'm okay. I'm gonna need you to like really grow up about this. That was the dumbest thing I've heard tonight.
And then when Randall said, that is the dumbest thing you done said all night, I said, I agree, Randall. I agree with everything you have said this entire night. What kind of horse shit is that? This is why Randall really don't want to be with Shanique. It ain't got nothing to do with Madlyn. Madlyn is just a convenient distraction. But it's how ignorant her ass acts. And it's probably how insecure she acts. Again, I don't know if alcohol played a part or what, but sis is delusional. A lot of people on this show are just delusional as hell. But after that was all said and done, and she realized that Randall was really going all in this process, and that he was really treating Madlyn like his girlfriend, you know, her and Zay go on a walk, and she's like, you know, I feel like, you know, I should also be giving it my all and be willing to do A, B, and C in this process. And Zay like, girl, what's A, B, and C? Because I got A, B, C. You know what I'm saying? And then we get footage of Shanique and Zay in the bed. And I'm pretty sure she gave him a handy J, because the covers were moving underneath. And then if y'all notice, she pulled what looks like a towel out of her pants pocket and handed it to him. They was the only couple that we saw doing that. So you got some explaining to do, Shanique, at this reunion. And I can't wait to hear what you got to say. And then so at the end of the process, Zay and Shanique had a really kind of cute little dinner. Although it looks like they were at a random place where they were overdressed. or unless the people around them were underdressed, but they looked kind of out of place. But either way, they had a cute little dinner, and at the end they shared a kiss, and I was like, aw, I kind of wish they had really given each other a chance and not acted so crazy, because they could have been a cute little couple. I don't know. All right, so now we're going to talk about the couples now that they've been reunited. I don't think it feels so good, though. It does not seem like. For most of these couples, they're reunited. Romance is a hot-ass mess. So I'm going to start with Randall and Shanique, because I thought it was interesting. After the dinner, Shanique really seemed like she gave up. She was like, you know, at this point, I see how Randall was talking about Madlyn, and I'm just at the point now where, you know, we'll just see what is what it is, and I have to be okay with whatever his decision is. And I said, girl, you done gave up. Like, I just felt like at that point, like, they're done. Like, I don't see where they can bounce back from all of the foolishness of this. I think Shanique realizes that her plan backfired. Her plan to give him an ultimatum, and she felt like she was the best thing smoking, honey. She had a whole picture of herself on the nightstand in the bedroom with her and Zay. Some weirdo shit. But her plan backfired, and she just thought that Randall would fall madly in love with her after not being with her for 3 weeks. And I think he just realized what life could be without her for 3 weeks, and he was okay with it. And that probably hurts, I can imagine, but the way she just gave up, I was like, girl, don't give up on your relationship so easy. Don't let Madlyn win, because at this point, you just letting her win. Now, it would just be a contest with me, honey. But Randall, honey, when Shanique and Randall finally got a chance to embrace, he gave her a little sad little church hug. I said, oh, y'all might as well just break up right now, because what is happening? And I just really feel like Shanique's insecurities got the best of her. She became pretty much obsessed with Madlyn, to the point when she asked Randall what were some of the things that Madlyn needs to work on. Girl, what are you talking about? And Randall was like, she's a non-factor at this point. I was like, exactly. If the whole point of this at this point is for y'all to work on your relationship and kind of put into practice what y'all learned in the previous 3 weeks, then what the fuck does Madlyn have to do with any of this? And I feel like her ego was just bruised, and Shanique just lost it. I think they're going to be a big fat no. I don't even think they're going to be like, well, we can still date, but I don't think we're ready to be engaged. I think their relationship is going to be over, and I think it just needs to be, honestly. Okay, so let's just move on to Zay and Rae. Like, it was hard to decide the last 3 couples who to talk about, because all 3 of them has a bunch of mess going on. But I'm going to go with Zay and Rae. So Rae, even though it seemed like she was trying to try and said that she missed Zay while she was not with him, and she just wasn't giving off that vibe. I thought it was weird when they got back together for the first night, and she brought up what Shanique said about Zay having a boner when they cuddled, like she was kind of jealous about it. I was thinking, hypocrite, because you've been screwing, because y'all can't tell me her and Jake wasn't having sex, honey. So you've been screwing somebody for the last 3 weeks, but you mad because he got hard a couple times? Girl, please. But what really was kind of weird to me is when she asked Zay about it. He was like, well, you should be happy to know that I like women. That's an interesting choice of words, because I had some thoughts about Zay that I did not mention in my first review. But since he brought it up, I mean, you mentioned it, Zay. I did wonder about that in part 1, okay? But I didn't want to go there because I didn't think that was, okay to say that he was maybe giving me that maybe he liked both men and women. But now that you said that, why would that thought even come to your mind? Like, I feel like that is also something that Zay has been dealing with, his sexuality, because that was just really weird that he said that. I don't know. I ain't gonna read too much into it, but that was just odd that he chose those words to say to her. But anyway, so Zay ends up finding Rae and Jake's sex box. Like I said, you can't tell me the 2 of them didn't have sex for the last 3 weeks. A whole sex box. And she's like, oh, well, we just only one time. honestly, at that point, Zay should have just walked out. He should have left her ass alone, because if she is as sexual as she likes to brag about, and that is like the main focus of the relationship, then Zay, you know, Rae wasn't about to sit here and lay up in the same bed with this man that she wanted to spend the rest of her life with and not drop it low and spread it wide. Okay, I refuse to believe that. Especially they got a whole sex box. So Zay should have walked out then. But he didn't, because he felt like he was excited to be back with Rae, and he realized in the 3 weeks that he really loves her and he wants to marry her. Y'all not ready to be married, honey. So the next encounter really bugged me, y'all. Seeing Rae's family interact with Zay was so hard to watch, because I felt like Rae's mom was going in on Zay. And maybe, you know, they've had some domestic violence issues in the past or something. I'm not sure. But the way her mom was talking to him, I wasn't feeling it. And she was really kind of talking down to him and just coming at him like really like aggressively. I wasn't feeling that. I really wasn't feeling it. And I'm sure there's a lot of context to what we saw, especially considering only a couple days, I guess, maybe in filming. But the next thing we see with Zay and Rae is them having a conversation and her saying how she doesn't want to be engaged anymore. Then when he asked her, well, why? What changed? You know, can we talk about it? And she's like, child, my nose will not stop running, honey. I don't know, but I need a bath and I need some tussin, something, and I need to go to bed, honey. Oh, I just can't talk about this. Okay. So you're too sick to talk about your feelings and to get to the bottom of why you don't want to be engaged to this man no more. But you're not too sick to ask him not to go out to the club and lay in the bed with you when you done already broke this man's heart. Make it make sense, Rae. Girl, she want her cake and eat it too. And I can't with the back and forth. And so I can understand why Zay was frustrated. But here's where he missed me, okay? So the next morning when he gets back at 8 a.m., first of all, let me tell you something. Top lock is on. I don't know if y'all had one on the door, but a chair would have been pushed up against the door or something. You wouldn't have been getting in easy. You just, no, sir. 8 o'clock in the morning. Oh, okay. So I feel like Rae obviously had the right to be mad, because I'd be pissed off about that too. But I feel like Zay just should have let her go, because y'all weren't going to have a conversation worth a damn. She said she was done with you. She had already said she didn't want to be engaged. All the red flags were there, honey. She'd been sleeping with Jake for 3 weeks. You can't tell me otherwise. Zay just should have let it go. He should have let her go. I feel like if he had just let her leave, that situation would not have escalated the way that it did. He definitely came off as the aggressor, even though she let it be known that she swung on him. But, you know, to us looking as an audience, it looks like she swung on him in the defense. So it was just a lot of unnecessary drama and altercation between her and Zay, and their relationship obviously needed to end. I hate that it had to end that way, but they obviously weren't ready to be married, because they did not possess any of the tools of just a basic functioning boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. How y'all thought that y'all was ready for marriage, I don't know, but they ain't together no more, and it's probably for the best. And so Zay goes to talk to Shanique, and they're having drinks and kind of being a little flirty, and I was like, okay. And Shanique is like, you know, Zay is single now, so I don't know what that's gonna mean, you know, for us, and how he's gonna be involved in this process, yada yada yada. Child, involved to be a damn fool, because they trying to have a conversation. And I did like that Shanique was honest with him, was like, ain't no way in hell Randall can leave and be gone all night, come back at 8 in the morning, and me not be pissed off. And she was trying to give him her perspective. And I'm not quite sure what she said that set him off, but he was pissed off, tired of having that conversation, felt like she belittled his childhood. Like I said, he needs some help with that trauma, because it is going to ruin relationship after relationship after relationship for him. But Shanique just recognizes that, okay, that's enough. No, Zay got some shit going on with him, and I don't want to deal with that. And I can respect that. So this whole experience has just been not good for Zay. And like I said, I hope he really gets the help that he needs, because he seems like he's a really sweet guy, but when it comes to relationships, and he's just very insecure, and he needs to work on them childhood traumas, honey. All right, so now let's go to April and Jake. Lord have mercy here. So Jake obviously does not want to be in a relationship with April. Like, his body language was loud as hell. He don't want that girl. After he spent time with Rae and he saw what it would be like to be in a relationship with somebody who's not pressuring him, somebody who's not about conflict, somebody who's not like going off and being irrational and having conversations and just kind of giving him the ideal relationship that he feels like he needs and wants, he's sick of April ass. He really is. And so it didn't help matters that Madlyn snitching ass, okay, told Jake, or maybe told Rae, which is probably more likely what happened, that April was texting guys in the 3 weeks that they were in the experiment, right? And Jake is pissed off about that, because he's like, what is going on? You've been talking to this dude for 3 weeks. And April is like, well, yeah, you know, you were having the experience. I wasn't having the experience. So I had to go outside of this process to have that. Which, I mean, y'all might not agree with me, but I kind of understand what she's saying. Her and Colby were coupled by default. The people they actually were interested in left. So technically, they would have just been together hanging out as besties while their partner is forming a romantic connection with somebody else. So I don't get why their partners were so pissed off that they were talking to other people outside the process, especially if they ended those conversations after 3 weeks. Because the only difference between what they did and what their partner did was that their partner was doing it with somebody off camera and y'all were just on camera. That's just how I looked at it. But Jake was really pissed off. And so Jake ends up throwing Rae in April's face, which I thought was so uncalled for. He was like, you know, this is what I loved about Rae, because she would never talk to me like this. She would never do this to me. Okay. But after that, after he found out she was doing that, their relationship just went down the shitter, okay? When they were at the car wash, and this was so cringy when they were sitting on that bench and she was like, hug me, and he just was like sitting there and she was like wrapped around him and he wasn't even embracing her back. I said, oh, April is clinging on to dear life with this relationship. And then so April ends up finding a video of Rae in Jake's phone, like close up of her twerking, right? And apparently he had been filming her ass multiple times. And April is pissed off. And she's like, you shouldn't be having no bitch's picture and video in your phone. And Jake is pissed off because she went through his phone. And he's like, it was just a joke. Jake, it was a joke. What's the punchline? What is the punchline to twerking ass in your phone? Please tell me the punchline, because I want to laugh too. But you know, after all that, Jake and April go and meet up with Jake's mom, and Jake hates it here. He hates it. You could tell how miserable he was. Like when he was messing with his hair and April was like, stop fiddling. His mom was like, yeah, stop fiddling. I was like, he is in a nightmare. He does not want to be with April. She's like his mom. And he probably feels trapped because his mom likes her and she just loves April and she thinks she's so good for him. He seems like he might low-key kind of be a mama's boy. And so I kind of feel bad for Jake. But then Rae lets him know that she is now single, and he's like, oh, okay. And then he tells her that he's trying to make things work with April, but he don't mean that shit. But I feel like he's pressured because April's been lying, talking about she thinks she's pregnant. My Lord, y'all. So at the girls' night, the bachelorette for Alexis. What? Girl, you ain't been engaged but 3 weeks. Why are we having a bachelorette party? Why are you back? And where is Lauren? April is like, guys, make sure one of those drinks is non-alcoholic. And Madlyn was like, no, we already ordered. No, they're all alcoholic. She's like, well, I can't have anything. I have an ultrasound on Monday. I might be pregnant. Oh my gosh, this girl is so childish. And Rae was like, wait, what? Yep, I might be pregnant. Girl, you know damn well you ain't pregnant. You just doing that shit so that Rae will leave Jake alone. You not slick. Like, she did that. I said, not you faking the pregnancy so you can keep your man. Girl. And then, at this little whack-ass bachelorette party, they were so disrespectful to April. So Alexis talks about the connection in the process. I wasn't here, but I saw how you guys connected on the first day. And so how's that going? Okay, bitch. First of all, they are back with their partners. So maybe have a little decorum and recognize that maybe these are some sensitive subjects. But she really, really pissed me off when they were talking to Rae about her and Jake. And Rae was trying to be respectful. Okay? She was trying to be respectful of April. And she said, I would like to be with someone that has the same qualities as Jake. That's respectful. Shout out to you, Rae, okay? I appreciated how you did that. For the most part in this show, when she was around April, she tried to be respectful of her feelings and understanding of her feelings in the situation. And Rae even said, I am with Zay, and you guys just have to accept that because nobody likes her being with Zay. And in this moment, I really liked Rae because April don't want to hear that shit. She is in love with Jake. You know, regardless of the toxicity of their relationship, she loved that man, okay? And then for Alexis to be like, well, I understand that, but you guys had a real connection. And April sitting there like, bitch, you see me sitting here? And then Shanique, ooh, April, tag me in. Because me and Shanique can square up. She gonna say, I get it if you're trying to consider her feelings, but if you're trying to put her feelings over yours, then that's a problem.
But I think if you are considering her feelings over your feelings, that's a fucking problem.
When I tell y'all, I wouldn't have been mad if April had told that whole motherfucking bar up. Let somebody have said that to Shanique about Madlyn and her feelings for Randall. Oh, she would have been cussing everybody. Y'all better get her. I got to go. But because it ain't your man, it ain't your situation, so it's okay to disrespect her and her relationship. Trash. All them hoes is trash. And then so April, because y'all know April ain't gonna sit and just deal with the foolishness. She stood up for herself and said, Alexis, I don't know why you hear all this stuff, but you need to watch your mouth because that is my man. I am sitting right here. And she's like, but I mean, I understand that, but we're going to talk real. We're going to have a real conversation. And April was like, well, y'all can have this conversation without me. I'm about to go. And I didn't say who said it, but somebody was like, bye, bitch.
Again, on your engagement. Bye, bitch.
If April should have spun her little bitty, little tiny ass around and just went to windmilling on all them hoes. Because who you calling a bitch? So after it's all said and done, we find out April is in fact not pregnant. And she says to Jake, I know you'll be happy to hear that. He said, why would I be happy to hear that? Oh, you know. I don't like when women do shit like that. Like, don't lie about pregnancies and shit like that. At the end of the day, I really hope Jake and April do not stay together. I just really feel like it would just be a disaster. Last but not least, I'm talking about Colby and Madlyn. Again, Madlyn is pissed off because she found out that what happened between Zay and Colby making out with some girl. She knew that actually happened because Colby apparently had told her that he was making out with a girl while it happened. But apparently there was another girl that he did not tell her about that he had been talking to and sexting and stuff during the 3-week process. But after the 3 weeks was over, he told her that he was back with Madlyn. Again, you are sleeping in the bed with Randall, even though y'all are not being physically intimate. Y'all are kissing. You are talking about you want to be with him. He is such a great guy. Yada, yada, yada. Why are we being hypocrites? Why are we being hypocrites? She's saying because she didn't know. Okay, fair enough. Had you known, would it made a difference? Like, I feel like she still would have had the same reaction if she had known about the girl or not. So Madlyn is just really pissed off with Colby and feels like, you know, she really can't do this. Now, where Colby started to extra give me red flags was when he said that he was messing with that other girl for Madlyn. And I get what he was trying to say. He was saying that he owed it to her to really fully be in this process of him dating other people so he could really know for sure that Madlyn is the girl he wants to be with. I get what he was trying to say, but the way he went about it was really shady, and he was kind of gaslighting her, and he was really trying to play the victim, and he was really giving me narcissist. Okay. I hate to use that word, but when the shoe fits, the shoe fits. This was some typical narcissistic behavior, and I was like, yikes. Yikes. It was pretty rough to watch. But after, you know, Colby and Madison, you know, had a conversation and she just felt like they weren't the strongest couple. She didn't agree with that. You know, they kind of needed some space, and then they had a final dinner together before we get to the final decision day. And she just really needed for him to understand that him dealing with this other girl for 3 weeks was not for her, and she just wanted him to admit that it was for him. He did it because he was interested in this girl, and he just wanted to just do whatever he wanted to do for 3 weeks. And he just kept saying, no, I did this for you. And Madlyn was like, I can't do this. This is insane. I can't be. She's like, Colby, look at me. Look at me. I can't do this. I can't do this. That's it, girl. And she, look, again, if it comes out that some of these people are actors and actresses, I'll believe it, because she put on a show, honey. Like, she was very dramatic. And so she ends up walking away, and it seems like they broke up. Yeah, y'all, that was part 2. It was a fucking mess. I was trying not to cuss, but I had to. It was a mess. I'm sure my review was all over the place because they were all over the place. Like, what the hell is happening? The first part of it, I'm like, okay, this might be something, but these couples are a hot ass mess. I don't know. I'm looking forward to the finale, though, where everybody says no, because I can't imagine any of these couples staying together. I could see Jake possibly because he's henpecked, but I hope he stands up for himself because he is miserable with April. And I am definitely excited for this reunion. So, again, y'all, I'm sorry this review was all over the place, but I had to present it to y'all how it was presented to me, and it was pure chaos. So let me know in the comments below what you thought about episodes 5 through 8 of The Ultimatum. And who do you think is going to stay together? My thoughts are none of the couples, but I could be wrong. And as always, y'all, like this video, share this video, subscribe to my channel, and I'm going to see y'all next time for the finale. And then after that, we're going to do a live watch of the reunion. So thank y'all so much for y'all support, and I'm going to see y'all next time.
I talk my shit and keep it honest, keep it independent. I hear them hating, but that's only cause they inconsistent. He said the weapon wouldn't prosper, now they wouldn't form. I'm about to golf, I hit the middle.